and roll with this. We are recording. Welcome to the Team Elevate Team Call. It is July 23rd. It is the second to last Tuesday of the month. It is launch month. We are having a killer month. Like I posted earlier in our team call, or in our Facebook group, we are actually just shy of 500 lives changed. I'm going to share my screen. Just shy of 500 lives changed, which means that we are about halfway to 1,000 lives changed. I can't really remember what our exact record is, but guys, that's a whole lot of people's lives who are being touched by us saying yes. And so I have up here on the board just everybody who has hit Success Club so far this month. There are so many of you guys who have 2 to 4 points on the board. We still have 8 days left in the month, so don't sell yourself short. Show up, be consistent, and tonight's call is really going to help you kind of translate, hopefully just improve your posting a little bit or improve your confidence when it comes to posting in regards to this business. So we've changed a total of 461 lives. We have so many people who have hit Success Club. I am not going to read it out, but our coach of the week is Hope McGrath, which I'm still getting used to because her name used to be Hope Minor, but I followed up with Hope for probably a year to 2 years. She was like this iconic fitness girl on Instagram, and I followed up and I followed up and I followed up, and finally she was ready, and she is killing the game. She is, I think, just one coach away from Diamond. She is crushing Success Club. She signed 5 coaches just this week, and she is having an incredible launch, but also just so consistent in her own health and fitness journey. And she just birthed a human. So if she can, anybody can. So proud of you guys. All right, so tonight we're going to talk about making our content okay, or from okay to making it great. Tonight's call is going to kind of be a mashup of, for those of you who were at Summit and you heard me speak on stage, I really talked a lot about how to create good content, taking it one level deeper. And so we are going to talk a little bit about that, but also in my track at Summit, the Leadership 2 track, Bonnie Engel talked about storytelling. And I know we've heard about storytelling like month after month after month, the importance of storytelling, but she really brought the emotion into it. And so I'm really hoping to deliver that to you guys. She had an incredible presentation, and I couldn't like mimic that if I tried, because she's just absolutely amazing, but I'm going to try to bring to you what she delivered to me in order for me to help my business. So let's get rolling. Bonnie said that storytelling is king. And I think this is true in everything. If I'm showing up on Instagram and I'm like watching my stories on Instagram, even if the story is by somebody that I have no idea who it is, or somebody that I've never seen before, I'm drawn in because it's a story, because it brings a different type of emotion out of me. And so I really want to talk to you about the positive type of hormones that we feel in storytelling, and then the negative type of hormones that we feel in storytelling or posting in general. Guys, if you are hopping on, please make sure to mute yourself. Because in anything, whether you're telling a story to your significant other, or whether you're posting on social media trying to build an incredible brand on social media, whatever it is, people will gain positive hormones or negative hormones from it. And so our job is that we really want to help people feel the positive hormones. And so those positive hormones are dopamine, oxytocin, and endorphins. And so you've probably heard of these 3 before. I'm going to kind of just lay it out super simple. Dopamine you gain from things when people are focused, motivated, or based on memory. And so Bonnie was on, for those of you who don't know Bonnie Engel is a top coach. She had like $250,000 worth of debt, and she paid it off in 2 years because her business grew so incredibly massive over 4.5 years. And so she's definitely somebody to follow. But she told this story on stage, and she talked about how in college she was at this party house, and she was very naive. She didn't think she was in a super dangerous neighborhood, but she was at this party. They were getting ready to leave, and all of a sudden, out of the bush, somebody held her at gunpoint. And then she ended the story, and we're all literally on the edge of our seat, like so drawn into her, because she made us focus, because we were drawn into her. We wanted to know what was coming next. And so our dopamine levels were very high. And so when we tell stories in that sense, that's why movies, like drama movies, always draw us in, or like action movies always draw us in, create that dopamine in us, because we are on the edge of our seat. We're focused. We want to know what comes next, right? And so she made our brains start to create this dopamine level. And maybe if you're thinking, all right, Ash, that's really cool, but I'm not going to tell a story about being held at gunpoint. Guys, dopamine is created in like the smallest different types of stories. I will tell a story about Deacon eating poop, and people will watch it to the very end and they'll message me back because I got their dopamine levels up and they wanted to hear it to the very end. It can be so small or it can be as big as you want it to be. But as long as you're telling these stories, people are going to be engaged. And so oxytocin is the next thing. Oxytocin is more of what we're going to feel with coaching. More of that generosity, more of that trust, more of that bonding. And so Bonnie also gave us an example of this in her life. And she talked about how her and Andrew, they struggled to get pregnant for like 2 years. And so that struggle was super hard. You know, all of the women around her for 2 years were getting pregnant, and all of a sudden, like, and throughout those 2 years, she couldn't do it. What was so easy for so many people was so hard for her and Andrew. And so we started building this like generosity up toward her. And then she talks about how she got pregnant with Evie and it was so beautiful, but then she had the baby, she had her, and her postpartum depression was really terrible. And so she started to go into this story, and we're starting to really build generosity with her. We're starting to build trust. A lot of the moms in the room were starting to bond with her. And so that's where the oxytocin in our brain comes in, where we can start really relating to people. This part right here, this oxytocin, is going to be what we do the majority of time in our coaching businesses. And when I tell you to tell a story, when I say that storytelling is king, most of the time it's going to come out of people feeling trust or bonding towards you in a certain area of your life. And so the oxytocin starts to build up in their brains, right? And then the last one is endorphins. This is my favorite one. She had us pull, so there was 2 pieces of paper underneath our seat, a blue piece and a pink piece. And she asked us like one question. She was like, which colors out of the 2 of these colors, which one's your favorite? Hold it up. And I held up the pink piece. And then she was like, all right, now I want you to hold up the blue piece. And we held it up, and she was like, what if I told you that this is now my, she was pregnant. She's like, this is now my gender reveal. And at that moment, that was the first time that she like revealed her gender. And all of us leaders in the room, we were holding up her baby's sex in the room. And it was really cool. But we were all like so excited, like there was a smile on everybody's face. And in that moment, she created endorphins, like this euphoric, just like happy feeling in the room. And we and that's what started to happen in our brain. And that's what people start to feel with us, because they're following us every single day and they're getting excited with us. They're getting excited when we share these stories in our lives. And so these are the positive hormones that we want to create in these people's brains in order for them to be able to engage with us and want to follow us. But if we're just showing up and sharing about workouts, if we're just showing up to make a sale, we're going to do the opposite. We're going to start creating negative hormones. We're going to create things like adrenaline, norepinephrine. We're going to start creating things like cortisol. So nothing worse than showing up on, like, seeing somebody on social media and their entire feed is about like wanting to sell something, or you get a follow from somebody and you go to their Instagram story and it's all about them and a sale that they want to hit. Or when maybe it's the last day of the month and you haven't hit Success Club and you're sitting at Success Club 0 because you didn't do anything all month long. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, I got to work my business. And you're stressed and you're frustrated. Well, people feel that from you when you just want to make a sale and you are having this negative voice on social media. People can feel that from you. So what I always say to you guys is stop treating this business as that it runs month to month. Treat this business as if it runs day to day. Give yourself a goal to hit every single day. If you wake up on the first of the month and you say, oh, I got all month to hit Success Club, I'm just gonna take it easy. You're not going to run a rock solid business, because I lived my business like that for a full year. And I was the girl who got to the end of the month and nobody wanted to talk to me because I was stressed, I was frustrated, and I started creating these negative type of hormones in people. Because I was stressed, they felt stressed, and they started to create that cortisol in their brain, right? They started growing anxiety. So I had to start treating my business day to day. I had to start creating content that I wanted to deliver on Monday, on the first of the month, on the second of the month, on the third of the month. And inevitably, guys, Success Club just comes. When you stop treating Success Club as just 6 points you have to hit in a month, it starts to come. Wake up in the morning, have have your objective that you want to help change a life that day, you're going to start having more fun with it. Start by changing your own life. Have fun. Show up on social media. Share the thing. And it starts to become so much more fun too, guys. When you're not just showing up to make a sale, people feel that from you. When you're actually showing up to share your story, when you're showing up to share your journey, when you're showing up to share your brand, people feel that from you, and it's so much more fun, and you will feel that, okay? The income grows. The successful points grows. The relationships, they grow, and your business starts to grow, okay? So these positive hormones are what we aim for, right? We want to create the dopamine, the oxytocin, and the endorphins. We do want to help people focus. We want people to feel trusted with us. We want people to bond with us, to relate with us. We want them to be happy when we talk about our journey and we talk about our stories, right? And some days we're not going to be happy, but we are going to always have a story to tell, and they're always going to be able to relate to us, okay? So really focus on these three things. So let's take that a level deeper, and let's start talking about posts on social media that, I mean, we all know like surface level posts, right? And now I want to help you take them one level deeper. And I'm just going to give you 3 examples of mine, but I do want to just preface this by saying, guys, that not every post needs to be like this long, drawn out storytelling post. I will tell you that I roughly post like every other day. It used to be back in the Stone Ages when I got started, it used to be that we had to post like 3 times a day. Well, back then there wasn't such a thing as Instagram stories. And so when Instagram stories weren't a thing, we were posting more often, more consistently. But I'm going to tell you right now that the majority of your posting, of you showing up on social media, sharing your voice on social media, should be through your Instagram stories. And if you post 10 times on your Instagram stories a day, 8 of them, or at least like 80% of them, should be with your face and your voice. People want to get to know you. In order for them to create these positive hormones, they do need to hear from you. They're not going to feel that from looking at a photo, okay? And so really focus on that. If you can look back at your story today and see that, okay, I posted 5 posts on my Instagram story, but none of them are your face, that's something I want you to change around. And if you're getting to the end of the month and you're like, oh, I'm not having any success, but I'm doing all the things, maybe that's something you have to tweak, right? Maybe it's just a matter of looking back at what you were talking about on your social media, what we were talking about on your Instagram, on your stories, and maybe really just showing your face more often is going to be the biggest piece. I can guarantee for most people, getting out of your comfort zone, guys, success is up here, and your comfort zone lives down here. So if you're like, oh, but I'm not comfortable doing that, good. You shouldn't be. When Instagram stories were like exploded when they were invented, I was so nervous to get on my Instagram story. I would delete, I would redo, I would delete, I would redo. And it was a matter of just starting to realize that my comfort zone is not where I should be living, right? It's fun, it's nice, it's cozy, but it's not where growth happens. So get outside of it, post it. Even if you hate the sound of your voice, people aren't going to analyze it the way that you do, okay? And so I said that I want to preface it by saying that not every post is going to be super long and drawn out. Now, on my social media, I post roughly every other day. And if you look on my Instagram, like sometimes, like I was at a bachelorette party this weekend. 4 posts in a row were just so simple about a bachelorette party, because my Instagram is not just a Beachbody coach. Ashley Faldason is not just a Beachbody coach. And I'm going to break that down in just a second, of really identifying your 5 things that make your brand your brand. But when I look at my Instagram, I should not just be a Beachbody coach. But there are times where we should be sharing our stories that led us to where we are, or sharing our stories that can relate people in order to draw them into our businesses. And those are the posts we're going to make from okay to great tonight, okay? Let's do it. So let's talk about this surface level post. So it's a photo of me, right, at my kitchen counter. It's a great photo. I have had it on a professional camera. You do not need a professional camera to be a successful coach. But it says, thankful for a job that lets me work from home on my watch while bringing me joy. Grateful. Now, we've all seen posts like this, right? We've all seen surface level posts like this. But if I were a new follower, and I really do want you guys to start getting into the habit of asking yourself, well, what would a new follower gain from this post? If I were a new follower and saw this post of this girl sitting at her kitchen counter, I would see, all right, her space is really beautiful. Clearly, she takes care of her space. That's awesome. But if I'm reading this caption, I have zero idea what she's talking about. I can't relate to it at all. For all I know, she could be an accountant and lives at home and just works from home. She just works from home, right? Or maybe she owns like a dog grooming company out of her house. I have no idea what she's talking about. I can not relate to this on any level. So I really want us to get into the habit of every single time you post. And remember what I said, guys, I post on average 1 time a day, if not every other day, but those posts, they are thought out. What can a new follower gain from this post? I know the new follower can see that this girl takes an awesome photo, but I can't relate to it on any level. So let's break that down a little bit deeper. So I took this post from thankful for a job that lets me work from home on my watch while bringing me joy, #grateful, to, and I'm actually going to read this out loud to you because it's a true story of my life. It was 5 a.m. My alarm went off. I put my workout clothes on, brushed my teeth, and ran out of the door. I commuted 30 minutes to the closest LA Fitness where I ran 3 miles on the treadmill. I showered, brushed my hair, and rushed to make it to work by 7 a.m. Welcomed my kids into my classroom at 8 a.m. and taught. I passed other teachers in the hall. I aimed to impress my principal, and I pleased my students' parents as much as I knew how. But this was not the life I craved when I was 6. When my mom asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up, I answered teacher. This was not how I pictured it. I pictured teaching my students something with so much joy. I pictured being able to hug my children, laugh with them, cry with them. I pictured growing unbreakable relationships with my fellow teachers. I pictured a bond with parents, but I lacked many of those things in this career. Things I soon looked for elsewhere: community, control, and joy. Fortunately, I found them. I found them through starting to work on myself for myself. I found them through attracting the other women like me to do the same. I found them through fulfillment, helping other women grow that same joy. Sure, I didn't need to ever quit teaching in the classroom because those once empty buckets were being filled up, but I did so in order to keep filling them up, not having anything drained from them daily. And today I'm blessed to have the freedom to call this work. So same type of post, what was once thankful for a job that let me work from home on my watch, soon turned into a post that actually shared who I was. I was once a teacher. I was an unfulfilled teacher, turned into finding something I lacked community, control, and joy, and I found those things. Now, guys, if you're somebody like, oh, you're such a good writer, I could never write like this, I have been a coach for almost 5 years. I do want you to understand that this progression does come over time. I want you to also remember that your story is your superpower. This is my story. And if you were to call your mom today, or if you were to call your best friend today, you have a story to tell. You tell it all the time. You tell how your day went. You tell certain like experiences in your life, and you tell them with passion. You tell them with anger. You tell them with frustration. You tell them, right? You need to just get into the habit of telling your social media the way that you would tell your best friend or your mom. So many of us try to make this perfect post and this perfect content, and for it to just sound like so prestigious. It doesn't have to. It just needs to be something that you would say to somebody at the end of a day. I sat here on my computer earlier today making this, and I literally just went through the things when I was a teacher that I didn't enjoy. And I went off and I broke down the things that I gained. And so your self-reflection is going to be the biggest piece of your growth in storytelling day after day after day. Whether it's you like on my notepad, whenever I think of a post that I want to create, I always jot like a main idea down in my notepad, and then I go back later and expand on the idea. Just getting a little bit stronger every single day, okay? If you want to make yourself, like if you have any downtime this weekend and you want to like understand what I'm talking about a little bit deeper, go to my Instagram, scroll back to the beginning, guys. I was a hot ass mess, but I was still hitting Success Club every single month. I was getting a little bit better every single day. And so where you are right now is exactly where you need to be. Just make that growth every day, okay? So I went from having a surface level caption that nobody can relate to making a storytelling caption. So simply, just by making something simple and just pulling a little bit of a story out of it, okay? And now people can relate to this. Maybe the other teachers of the world, maybe people who are unfulfilled, maybe people who aren't unfulfilled but are looking for community, control, and joy will gain something from this post. And when I have a new coach sign up on my team, it's not because they like the pants I wear or because they like my glasses. It's because they can always relate to a part of my story, because they are gaining either they're gaining some type of dopamine, oxytocin, and endorphins from my post, from my storytelling, okay? So next thing. This is my next surface level post, and this has to do with Morning Meltdown. It says, wahoo, day 1 of Morning Meltdown starts tomorrow. Can't wait. We've all seen posts like this, right? We've all created posts like this, and they are awesome. And there's a time and a place for these posts. But if I am somebody who's starting Morning Meltdown 100 tomorrow, and I really do want to fill up my challenge groups, I'm going to take it one level deeper to help people feel. Again, asking myself, what can a new follower gain from this post? They can see that day one of Morning Meltdown starts tomorrow. They probably have no idea what that even means because that's Beachbody lingo, and they can see that I take a really good photo. That's all that they can see. They can't relate to this on any level. They will not gain any type of positive emotion or positive stimulant in their brain. But breaking that down one level deeper, as I'm sitting here writing this post, I have so much built up excitement in my belly. Tomorrow marks day one of my 100-day workout nutrition program. You see, I wasn't always someone who worked out from home. Who am I kidding? I wasn't even someone who worked out. Don't get me wrong, I wanted to be, but I didn't know how to be. It was a simple post on social media on February 2nd, 2015 that proved to me I could be that person. Be a person that worked out, was healthy, found joy in taking care of herself. It was through someone else's story that proved I could be. I just needed to reach out for help. So I did. And now almost 5 years later, I show up and pay that forward to help the other Ashleys of the world who don't know how to be, become someone who takes care of themselves. So simply put, it just went from, woohoo, I'm so excited to start tomorrow, to really breaking down why I'm excited to start and who I was, the journey leading up to me kickstarting Morning Meltdown 100. Okay, so be relatable. Hopefully people can relate to this piece of my story. And then the next one, Team Elevate, I am so proud of you, turned into, after a busy day of teaching in grad school, I remember searching hashtag after hashtag to find the perfect name for our team. I had a list of 10 that I waited for Tyler to get home to read to him. Then I stumbled on the word elevate. Sure, I knew what it meant in my own vocabulary, but I decided to look up the dictionary's version. Raise or lift something up to a higher position. There she was, a word that identified what I wanted our future team to stand for, a team that in that moment was just me. Team Elevate, you guys do just that, raise or lift to a higher position. So thank you for living up to the name, and congratulations to us for being the #9 top ranked team in a company of over 500,000. I couldn't have ever even dreamt of saying that out loud. And so now I get people to see, wow, it was this girl who was sitting after a busy day of teaching in grad school, just searching for something. Maybe they're that person. Maybe they're that person looking for joy or control or fulfillment in their life. And they have seen that what I've built over time, and that they can relate to that piece of my story. There is always something that you can relate to. Do yourself a favor and go to YouTube and type in Storytelling by Kindra Hall. Somebody write that in the chat. Storytelling by Kindra Hall. She was a speaker at Leadership this past year, which is an event for 5 stars and above. And she really just talks about perfecting our storytelling and how it truly is a gift. It's a gift that we are given. Storytelling is a gift that every single one of us has, and you need no talent to be a great storyteller. You just have to tell your story. You do not need to be a cancer survivor. You do not need to be coming back from a war to have this incredible story. I have this very black and white story of a girl who thought she was going to teach, went into her career, didn't love it, decided to grow a side hustle amidst teaching to find this fulfillment that she didn't have, and it has grown into being this incredible thing. That's my story. And of course, there's the fluffy stuff before and after all of those things. But my story is my story, and that's the one thing. Well, there's a lot of things, but that's one of the many things that sets you apart from me. And that's why people are going to join you, because of your story and how people can relate to you. But by telling those things, you have to remember that when you tell those things, you do start to create this emotion in these people's brains. But if you don't tell the story and you only live on surface level, I know coaches who just always live on surface level post after surface level post. No one can relate to you. You have to be a coach who is pulling a story out day after day after day, okay? Like I said, it doesn't need to be these crazy drawn out stories, but it needs to be a consistent idea of who you are, where you've come from, where you're going, and just that theme moving forward, okay? So the second thing, guys, like what you see. If you are somebody where you go to your social media and you're like, I wouldn't follow her back, but you're just okay with it, get better. Get better at taking photos. I was not somebody who was great at taking photos. Even last year, my photos weren't great. I mean, my photos compared to like Mandy Kai's photos or like Angie Bellemar's photos, for they're two top coaches who take incredible photos, are much different. But when I look at my Instagram, I love the fluidity. I love that I see my face in almost every single post. I love that it's not just me sweating in my garage. I love that it's not just me drinking my Energize or my Shakeology. When I look at this, I truly feel like I am an influencer. I feel like, you kind of start to see every brand of who I am in my social media. And so I want you to start having those gut checks with yourself. When you look at your social media, what do you feel? Do you feel like if you're a new follower, they will feel like they are going to gain content and value from you? And I think an app you can download is the app called Preview. And so what it is just an app where, I'm going to open it up. It looks like this. It's this little like 6 cube thing or 9 cube thing. You click it and you can actually like pre-plan posts in there, but I don't do that. What I do is I just have it like set up of what my feed will look like. And so that way I can always plan what my next photo is going to be, and I can see what it looks like in my feed. And so I can go way back. I've been using it for probably about a year now. So I can always see the fluidity of my feed. And so it helps me prepare my posts, and then I can have like 3 ready in there. For those of you busy coaches, having like 3 posts like ready to rock and roll in there is so perfectly ideal for you, because it's just a no-brainer. It's something you don't have to think about. I pre-plan my posts all the time, not in terms of like, so they post, but I just go in here and I add a photo and I put my caption in and say, okay, I'm going to post this at, like, I've had my post for tonight ready since Sunday morning, and I posted it tonight. It was about how I asked for Nutrisystem for my 16th birthday. I was a fad diet. I identified as somebody who struggled with my weight my whole life, and I paired it with a photo of myself, and I had it ready in my preview. And so that's what I get into the cycle of. And so for you busy coaches, get out of the house and take some photos. Don't stand in front of the same wall. You guys don't need to be an incredible photographer. I'm not telling you that you need to go buy a Canon 9000 or whatever those things are. Take it on your iPhone, but get in front of a window, take a photo, find some different scenery in your house. On a weekend, maybe have your significant other or your mom or your sister or your best friend take a couple of photos from you. When I was at my bachelorette party at my best friend's bachelorette party this weekend, I had them take all the photos of me so I can use them over time as content ongoing. And so don't be afraid to do that, because you are an influencer. You're developing your brand on social media. And so it's not like we're saving post to post in our story. Our story should be like the raw, unedited version of you, day in and day out. You should have different hair, different makeup. They should see you in your element each day, but your post needs to be delivering content and a photo that is scroll stopping each and every single day, okay? And ask yourself, do I like what I see? Would I follow me back? And if the answer is no, you got to swerve and you got to figure out how to do something else. I had Lauren over the other week, and I had her take photos of me in every room of my house. And I went on Pinterest and I just found different poses of like what I wanted to do each day. So if you're going to if you're going to a lake or something this weekend, scroll on or type in on Pinterest, ways to pose next to a lake. Like, that's how corny you can be. That's what I do. I'm getting my engagement photos done next weekend. I have like every pose planned out, because that's, success leaves clues. I like what I see in those people's posts, so I'm going to recreate it with my own life and then deliver it each and every single day so that people like what they see. So simple, right? Don't reinvent the wheel. So identifying our 5 things that makes us us is going to be so crucial. Now, I know that if you have been a coach for a while and you're like, Ash, this is like so 2016. We used to always talk about like identifying our 5 things that makes us us. But truly, I think that the coaches who know what the 5 things are that people know them for, they're more likely to deliver those things, and they're gaining more followers because they are not just a Beachbody coach. And so my 5 things are fiance, planning a wedding, right? So I talk about wedding stuff all the time. Dog mom. I have dog stuff all over my Instagram consistently. I'm a foodie, I'm a fashionista, and I love health and wellness. So those are my 5 things. Now, if you're like, Ashley, that's really cool, but why do you talk about fashion and food and you're planning a wedding and your dogs if you want to build a successful business? Well, guys, you are not just, and I talked about this a little bit at the beginning, you are not just Beachbody. You are not just a Beachbody coach. You are not just a health and fitness coach. I am a fiance. I am a dog mom. I am a foodie, and I am a fashionista. And so I want to attract people in who are also those things so that they can see that somebody who relates to them on a level of those other things also is getting incredible results. And I want them to see that they can too. And so I always say Beachbody or health and wellness is just my thumb. It's something that I talk about 20% of the time, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20 to make up a full 100% of my brand on social media. So I'm always talking about my wedding. I'm always telling stories on my Instagram about wedding planning, honeymoon planning, stuff like that. I'm always talking about my dogs. I'm giving value. I'm sharing things with my dogs. I'm always talking about food and delivering recipes and sharing things because that's a part of my brand. I'm always delivering fashion, asking questions about fashion, asking for feedback, and I'm always talking about health and wellness. But I am never letting one of those things take the front seat. I want to relate to people on any of those levels and bring them in and pull out of my back pocket that, hey, maybe we relate on the fact that we're both planning a wedding. Or maybe we relate on the fact that we're both dog moms or we're both fashionistas. But I am waking up every morning and sweating in my garage and getting in incredible shape for these 100 days. She now all of a sudden, is ready to get ready for her wedding, or she's like, maybe her doctor tells her that she needs to lose some weight. She instantly thinks of me, not Orange Theory, right? You see how this starts to work? But also, guys, building your brand on social media takes time. It takes trust. It takes really building those positive stimulants in their brain in order for them to trust you and have this bond with you. But you have to identify your 5. So I'm going to give you 30 seconds to tell me what your 5 things are in the chat. I want to know. What are the 5 things people know you for? What is your brand? Cool. Love these. They're coming in quick. Awesome. And they should be something that you know right off the bat. And so for me, it took me really like saying them consistently over time, saying them, fiance, dog mom, fashionista, foodie, and then being a health and fitness coach. It took me really saying those 5 things over and over again in order for them to really be drilled down into my brain in order for me to develop them as a brand. But if I am those things and I am actively going out and finding people and delivering content based on those things, my brand should be growing. And so the rabbit hole is something that I talked about at Summit of the endless potential. Guys, there are so many people who have no idea what Beachbody is on this planet, or there are so many people who have a misconstrued understanding of what Beachbody is, and it is our job to deliver an experience that they've never had before, or an experience that they don't even know exists. And so down this rabbit hole of endless potential lives these human beings that you can relate to. Now, you're not going to relate to them based on Beachbody coaching. No one's going to follow you back because you sweat on your carpet. No one's going to follow you back because they like the way you eat your spinach. But people are going to follow you back based on your similar interests. And so really drilling down those 5 things that make you you are going to be huge for you building your following, but also building true people that you want to follow you. Nothing's worse than seeing somebody who has like 50,000 followers and they only have like 30 likes on a photo, right? You want to have this constant flow of, wow, I'm actually having valuable eyes on me every single day. Maybe women who are planning their wedding, dog moms, foodies, fashionistas, consistently having their eyes on me, and I know that I'm delivering those things in value every single day on my Instagram stories and through my posts. So, and if we go back up to my posts, you'll see that not everything is about health and fitness. So even if I'm posting only every day or every other day on my feed, it's not only about Beachbody coaching. So like, sure, this is about my journey, but this was talking about like freedom to go out and pick whatever the hell fern I wanted to pick. This was fashion, going to Georgetown. This was about food that I made for my dad. you know, Tyler, my best friend getting married, more food, my outfit, overflowing my cup with Shakeology, my 4th of July outfit, speaking on stage, making out Tyler, 10 fun facts about me. And so it's not always about Beachbody, but I'm delivering things that have to do with my brand, because I know that I'm actively out trying to find people who are in my brand. If they come back to your profile, like if you're going out on social media, and you're trying to find somebody based on your similar like of home decor, or based on your similar like of like food, or being a dog mom, and then they come back to your social media and all they see is a feed of quotes, or all they see is a feed of your, you know, really not so great photos of your food or your workouts. They're not going to follow you back because you went out and followed them based on your similar interests of home decor, but they come back and they don't see anything that has to do with home decor. They're not going to follow you back because you're not delivering the brand that you're trying to identify as. And so just delivering these things consistently is going to be huge. So this rabbit hole of endless potential. So for me, and this is not going to be anything new for you guys, but every single day we need to be actively growing our markets, actively going out and finding people who we can relate to, right? So if you go into your popular page, and so this is my home screen right here. If I click this little magnifying glass down here, that's going to take me to my popular page. And so now on my popular page, you'll see this list of popular images. So I'm always on my popular page. I'm always going to people who I can relate to. And so for me, the majority of the things on the popular page are going to be like, you see fashion, you see food, you see weddings, you see nails, you see something Gary Vaynerchuk, like pretty girls, being a mom, goals, home decor, right? These are things that I am actively searching every single day. So those are what's actively coming up on my popular page. So whatever your 5R should be the things you're searching. So that's going to be what Instagram algorithms deliver to your popular page each day, okay? And so today I was feeling fashion-y, and so I clicked this girl's post. Now I go to her post and I see she is adorable. I want that outfit, like stat. I love her leather pants. I love all of the things. I love her Louis bag. And I can see that 8,992 people liked her post. Now, this is not somebody I'm going to target. I know that if she has that many people liking her post, I'm just going to be a grain of sand in her giant beach. But I am going to go to these 8,992 people because I know that if I like this post and I like this content, then my tribe, people who have similar interests in fashion, are also going to like my content, or are also, going to like this, obviously. And we're going to have that similarity. We're going to have that same interest, right, in fashion. So now I go to all of her likes, and I can now filter through people that I would see on my team. This Kayla girl, I could definitely see on my team. And I could just scroll and scroll and scroll. And maybe I will follow 15 people that liked this post. And now instantly I followed 15 people that could potentially follow me back. I'm going to say what I said on stage at Summit. Really, for me, in mastering my mindset when it came to this business, when it came to mastering my mindset in network marketing, I really had to treat it as if it was this field. Okay. And this analogy changed my business forever. I want you to picture that your business is this field. Okay. And every single day when you send a follow, you're dropping a seed. Every single day that you're sending an invite, you're dropping a seed. And now it's not guaranteed that that follow that you send is going to instantly follow you back. Or it's not guaranteed that that invite that you send is instantly going to buy a challenge pack. But you lay these seeds. You lay 15 seeds of follows. You lay 30 seeds of invites. And now when you lay these seeds, you have to look at them as opportunities, not as instant, they're going to follow me back. And if they don't follow me back, I'm going to quit this business. They are opportunities. This business is not a get rich quick scheme. It's success over time and getting in the best shape of your life, physically, mentally, and emotionally over time. Okay. So you're planting these seeds. Now, every seed that you plant is an opportunity for growth. and I'm going to say the same analogy, but if you were to plant a seed, if you were to send an invite or send a follow and think that right away they're all going to follow you back, or right away they're all going to say yes and you're going to sell 30 challenge packs your first day as a coach, it's unrealistic. It's silly to think that. That's like a baseball player thinking that he's going to hit a home run every single time that his bat hits that ball. It's silly, right? It's unrealistic. So in network marketing, every single time that you plant a seed, it's an opportunity to grow, but only if you give these seeds what they need to grow. Not when only on good days, or not on days that it's convenient for you, but every single day. You're planting these seeds and you're coming back, you're giving them the sunlight, the water, what they need every single day by posting on social media. By getting results, guys. Get results. Let Morning Melt 100 change your life. You're allowing these seeds to grow by proving to them why they should join you. Some seeds might take a week to grow. Some seeds might take a month, a year to grow, and some seeds might never grow. I'm still inviting people that haven't said yes to me since day one. Some seeds might never grow. Some seeds might take years to grow. But our job is to control the controllable in this business. And these things are the controllable in our business. Being consistent, having fun, delivering content, value, being excited, really creating these emotions that people keep coming back for. These positive hormones, the dopamine, getting people to focus, be motivated, right? Really striking their memory, allowing them to feel generosity toward us, trust, a bonding, exciting, letting them feel happiness, euphoria toward us, that they want to keep coming back for more. That's what we can control, right? And trust the process. A post was made on Team Elevate yesterday, and it was like, oh, I'm not having any success in this business. Like, what am I doing wrong? Just keep with it. Do not determine your success based on the points. Do not determine your success based on the amount of challenge packs you've sold or the amount of coaches that you have signed. Your success comes from the controllable things that you put into your business. Are you showing up? If you are, be proud of yourself. Are you getting results? If you are, be proud of yourself. Be excited about that. Have fun with the process and trust it, because the more you focus on what it takes to get there and having fun with what it takes, you're going to get there. And you're going to build this incredible, monumental business. And you're going to be hosting a team call with 129 people before you know it. But that's all I have for you guys. I hope it rocked. Yay. Okay, we are done a little bit early. Wow, I thought that was going to take the entire time. So I want to do a quick little boomerang. So actually, I'm going to do a quick little video. We're going to play some music, and I want you guys to just dance to it, okay? We're going to play our anthem. It has always been like our song. Hold, please. Stay on. Don't get off. I'm going to have you guys dance. I'm just going to go through. Get it ready.
Babe, don't make a sound. 2 a.m. love, gotta keep it down. Don't wait around for a signal now. Give me some verb, I ain't talking now. You wanna ride in the 6, you wanna dine in the 6. But when I lean for the kiss, you said I'll probably send you some pics. And I'm not, hell no, been waiting too long. Hell no, I want that cool love.
All right, guys, I hope you have an incredible rest of your night. Thanks for hopping on tonight, and I will talk to you guys very soon. I love you guys. Bye.